Welcome to Northwest Aerospace News Live. I am Jennifer Ferrero, a writer for the magazine and your host. Thank you to our sponsor, Aerospace Vendors. Today we are talking with Lance Winkler, Sales Account Manager in the Aerospace Defense segment for Orscheln Products. The company designs and produces various mechanical control systems for commercial aviation, general aviation, light jet, helicopter, experimental aircraft, and military applications. Let's welcome today's guest, Lance. Welcome.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Well, Lance, please tell us about your role and a brief history of the company, and how does your company serve the aerospace industry?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm Lance Winkler. I'm the Aerospace and Defense Market Manager for sales here at Orscheln. Orscheln is a family-owned and operated business for the last 75 years. Been serving the aerospace and military market for Tier 1 and Tier 2 customers for all those years. So we have a dedicated team in engineering that will work with the customer, go from concept to design to testing and into production. And if need be, we can go ahead and do the PMA process as well. And so some of the products that we have on the aerospace and military side are mechanical control cables, ball bearing cables, hold open rods, dipsticks, bonding straps, stow lock pins, and all these can be used as the primary control or even in the redundant systems.
Well, it sounds like pretty important products for aircraft, so that's great to hear. Lance, I'd like to learn a little bit more about how your engineers work with customers to take a product from concept to production.
Absolutely. So from the beginning, we're going to be in close contact with our customer, open communication. And so in the beginning, we'll have a kickoff meeting. That kickoff meeting will have our engineering team and myself. We'll gather all the information that's required for the project. At that point, engineering will take control and they'll go from design to a concept. Once we have that concept, mocked up, modeled up prints, 3D models, we'll get that approved from the customer. At that point, we can provide prototypes, send those to the customer for mock-up, any small, simple testing that they may have, and then we can take that into qualification testing and into production.
Great. As a follow-up question, about how many engineers do you have on your team for the aerospace division?
So our aerospace division has about 10 to 12, depending upon what all we got going on. We have other markets that we can pull engineers from as needed.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I understand that you have state-of-the-art testing facilities. What can you test? What results are you seeking? And why is your testing top-notch?
Yeah, so in our testing facility, we can do the endurance, vibration, temperature, icing, corrosion. These are all main parts of the DO-160 or the Mill Standard 810 requirements. And so when we're doing these tests, we're looking for data to verify that the product is what the customer needs, that it meets all the FFA requirements, all the customer requirements, as well as Orscheln requirements. And while we're doing that, we want to make sure that we're building a reliable product for the service life of that product. As far as our equipment and stuff, we have state-of-the-art equipment in our lab. It's a 15,000 square feet facility, extremely nice. And our engineers, they pretty much use it as a playground. I mean, they go over there and get to test the products that they've designed, that they've spent, time working on and building. And while they're doing that testing, they can monitor that stuff closely. So if there's any improvements that are needed, they can make those in real time to make sure that our customers are getting the best product possible. Another benefit of having the test lab here on the house, it saves us time, saves our customer time, as well as cost.
Great. Now, as a follow-up question, you're not located in the Northwest, right? You're in
No,
a
we're
different
not.
location,
We
but you have
are.
customers come to you?
We have customers come to us. We also have the ability to actually do our testing by video. And so during COVID, we were in the middle of a big project with a tier one customer, and we were ready to start the testing phases. Obviously, nobody wanted to let their employees travel. We weren't sure that we could let people in, and so we actually worked with our customer and the FAA and got approval to do this testing virtually. And to my knowledge, we were the first company that the FAA approved to do virtual testing with. So it was quite an experience, but it worked really well. Saved a lot of time, travel cost even, but kept the program on schedule.
Well, COVID certainly changed things for everyone, and it sounds like in this case made some improvements for Orscheln products. So I am wondering if you could share an aerospace case study with me.
Absolutely. So we had a customer that came to us. They were working on a turboprop project and needed some throttle cables. So typically we will start with what their requirements are and determine if they need standard push-pull cables or if they need ball bearing cables. We supplied them with some push-pull cables. They put them in their mock-up, did some testing, and it wasn't quite what they were looking for. They were wanting a smoother feel, but a little bit better efficiency. And so we switched them over to a ball bearing cable. Got kind of a sample here, but what a ball bearing cable is essentially it's a flexible linear ball bearing which transfers a push-pull motion. So similar transfer as a standard push-pull cable, but higher efficiency, lower linear stretch, and a very smooth feel. And so we built some samples up for this, sent them to them. Their test pilots absolutely loved them, met all their other requirements, and so we got our customers' needs satisfied.
Great. Well, thank you. Now, I'm wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the various industries that you can support and then talk about the specific supports for commercial aerospace.
Yeah. So Orscheln's pretty unique. We're not only aerospace and military, but we're also on-highway, off-highway, marine, and as I mentioned, my favorite, aerospace and defense markets. So not only do we build products that are flyaway parts in the aerospace industry, but we also support the industry by ground support equipment. Some of the products that we do there are throttle controls, parking brakes, mechanical and electronic shifters, all going into different products, tugs, de-icing machines, emergency equipment, things of that nature for the industry. So we contribute in all kinds of ways to the aerospace industry.
Well, good. Now we have a little bit of time, so I'm wondering if you can tell me when you're traveling over here to the West Coast, are you going to things like the PNAA meetings or PNDC? Do you participate in some of our regional trade organizations, and what's that experience like for you?
We do. We're big members and very fond of the PNAA group. Nikki does a fabulous job with that, her and her team. I think we're going on our third year being members there, going to the conference. Love the conference, full of information, great networking, whether it's finding customers. We've found suppliers there as well. So it's a great experience. We were out there earlier this summer for the PNAA golf tournament. Great time out there as well. So love the PNAA, everybody up in the Northwest. They've been good to us, even though we're not from there.
Great. Now I have another question for you. Do you guys also export your products to other countries? And what's that process like?
We do. I think right now we export to 42 different countries, actually. So it's just normal business for us. We've got the team to help with the export controls. It's just another customer, another product. Nothing major for us.
Great. Now, out of curiosity, I know that here in the Northwest, we talk a lot about some of the workforce challenges that we've had, just finding people to come in and work in manufacturing. Are you having that same problem in your area?
It's always a challenge in manufacturing. We're kind of in a small town, so we have new employees come and go, but we also have a very dedicated team that have many years of service here. So I know we have a lady here a couple of years ago, and she's still here actually, celebrated 50 years of service with Orscheln products. So our engineering team, I think probably has 60, 70 years combined experience between some of the guys, and it's a great team. So
great. So what's one thing that you really love about the culture at Orscheln?
Orscheln, like I said, it's a family-owned business. It's very unique, and we take a lot of pride in providing solutions to our customer. We like to work with our customer closely to deliver the needs that they have, form those long-lasting relationships, get to know the people, get to know their business, so we can know how to better serve them. Gives us a good opportunity to collaborate on future projects and work with them as a team to elevate the industry.
Awesome. One other final question, and that is, are you guys entering the space race? Are there products that can go on spacecraft that you make?
Yeah, we have a few products that have been up in space already, so we're definitely open to that as well.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think that's it. I think Orscheln, we're here to help your guys. Reach out to us. We're be glad to take a look at your projects and help provide a custom solution for you.
Well, Lance, thanks so much for coming to the show today.
All right, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. Well, if you're interested in learning more about Lance's business, please visit Orscheln.com. And thank you again to our sponsor, Aerospace Vendors. Until next time, keep engaging with the aerospace manufacturing news you need to know in the Northwest with Northwest Aerospace News Magazine. Goodbye.